Or Raw just ended.
No, because even Raw wouldn't go 4 hours and 25 minutes.
I'm done. I can't do this 4-hour throwaway pay-per-view stuff anymore. You literally could have just you could have just pick and choose what you watched tonight, and you would have been better off. Like, you could have tuned in and out of everything. But welcome to another edition of the final, thank God, Raw single brand podcast exclusively here on the Popcast Network. This is the Elimination Chamber. My name is Owen. Joining me as always is Ashley.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. I don't know. Where do I need to keep going?
Let's just get this over with, because I mean, once again, WWE, you betray me and I don't care anymore. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens, Vince McMahon is still in charge, and you need never forget that. And tonight proved that right away. So we'll talk about the kickoff show. I didn't watch it. I won't lie. And again, just like always when it comes to pay-per-views, I kind of like drifted in and out of this. I can't get interested anymore. I just can't. And it doesn't help when you're doing your podcast, it makes it hard, because it's like usually you can somewhat keep me awake. It's like I didn't have you to keep me awake, and I was from the chair to the bed within like an hour, and I was like, nope, I'm done. If I see something, great. If I don't, then I won't.
Just don't know what to think.
I gotta get up at 5:45. I really don't care at this point. These are the kind of things you're gonna hear from me Sunday when we're live talking about the Oscars, because we're doing a simulcast for the first time on the network. So yeah.
Yeah, but we might be fucking invested in that.
There's no might be. We will be invested in that, sir.
There'll be no sign of Peter fucking Rosen cunt. Jeez. Also worth noting, I don't think there was any Indian commentators. Because they're at least not credited on Wiki. I don't know whether there's anybody live in chat that can verify if there were Indian commentators, because I think I missed that while I was out for drinks or something. It's just, I don't know.
I just.
So on the pre-show, actually was a solid match, because it was Gallows and Anderson and Dallas and Axel. You know, the club wins, which makes sense.
Of course.
With the Magic Killer on Axel as well. So, so we opened with the Women's Elimination Chamber.
God.
Alexa came in first, you know, to the cell. Then Sasha Banks. Then Mickie James, who thought she was Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, but also had like a Body Donna's Sunny look to her as well.
Well, Wonder Woman, I was going to quote the Hurricane. What's up with that?
Oh, boy.
And then Absolution came out. It's like, well, that isn't how it works. And Mandy got in the pod, and it was Sonya starting. And like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, Yeah,
And then,
this wasn't fun.
of course, it's Bailey. Of course, it is. So, from what I remember, they were first in, followed by Mandy, followed by Sasha,
Yep.
followed by Mickey, and then Bliss was out last.
Yeah.
So champion's advantage, weirdly enough, for a change.
Yeah, and it made perfect. The way that they booked this made sense with the order and everything. Obviously, you got the 2-on-1 on Bailey, then Sasha makes the save, and they finally did the Sasha turn, which they kind of threw away.
Because then she eliminated Mandy Rose for not being a wrestler.
Yeah.
Made a tap to the bank statement. And then the sort of weird one as well, Mickey James going in and laying out all of them, and then Lufez pressing Sonya off the top of the pod to eliminate her.
That was fine.
So at least they're gone.
Correct.
Then, within like seconds, Bailey hits the Bailey to belly on her. And so it's basically just down to Bailey and Sasha. And Alexa was like, not sure, wanting to get in and whatever. And got rid of her off the pod and then went to Bailey. But Bailey got a Bailey to belly on Bliss. But Alexa rolled through, I think, for a rolling pin.
It was like a modified Oklahoma roll, actually. Which is fine.
The best bit was after that, Sasha's still on the outside, recovering. Alexa climbs up on top of the pod, twisted Bliss onto Sasha, who I think lays her out immediately after with a clothesline. The Roman Reigns school of no sell. In more fucking ways than one.
Yeah, it was really wicked because like she did Twisted Bliss off the top. It looked amazing. Sasha's like, nope, I don't feel like selling today, and locked in the crossface, of course, and they rolled with it a bit to try to get underneath the bottom rope so they could actually get back in the ring so they could go for the submission. Alexa rolls out of it, breaks it up. Sasha climbs up top. She looks like she's going for Meteor off the top of the pod, but of course that never goes anywhere. Alexa just is like, and just like pulls her face first into the top of the plexiglass and hits basically, in essence, the snake bite DDT. And that's it. Alexa wins. Well, at least the right person went over.
Yeah.
And then the awesome we fooled the internet babyface into heel promo, which was so good that she does oh so well.
Yeah, but how did we fool the internet? She's still a face.
Yeah, tell Vince that she's a heel. She's still a heel, even though she's not. She's still a heel.
So that means Nia Jax is a face.
Oh God, I hope not. I don't think so. Speaking, I hope not. Smurfy Boy in chat says I'm conflicted. I like Alexa, but I'm not sure she'd have such a huge match at Mania. She's the only woman on the entire roster that I'm interested in, other than Asuka.
Alexa and Asuka will be good.
Yeah,
if they go
that
direction.
We might be going Alexa and Nia Jax by process elimination. because it looks like Asuka may show up on SmackDown to challenge Charlotte.
Rumor is Asuka might challenge Charlotte.
Yeah.
But then my deal is I think they're going to do a 31 and have Carmella pin Charlotte after some sort of Asuka move.
I hope not. I want Carmella to fail. That's the last piece of that stupid James Ellsworth storyline, and I just want it to just fade away.
Then we had the tag title match. The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. Decent-ish, I'd say.
They got to get different gear for the tag team.
Yeah.
I don't like that Apollo and Titus O'Neil basically makes me sound like it's now the Cody and Brandy Rhodes situation from Impact. So his name is now Apollo O'Neil.
Titus Apollius. Titus Apology. There we go. Titus Apology. Right there. Worth noting, Dana White's just tweeted a photo of him and Brock.
That wasn't that was before the show started, actually.
Yeah, but it's like, who's trying to get the attention? Just like
this
just
match. Like Turkey Boy says Asuka and Alexa had a rough match on Raw a few weeks ago. I don't think
because it was on Raw.
Yeah, it wasn't planned out properly because it was a TV match. And sometimes they don't put enough into their TV matches, and it shows. It really does. I will state right now that, once again, I say this every single week. I'm going to continue to say this. Get a new finisher for the Bar. Because especially tonight, it comes off looking horrible.
Yeah.
It looks real bad tonight. And Sheamus falling off the top rope and then basically pointing at the crowd like, don't you cheer it. You cheer for me. I can't forget that one. He went up top going for, it looked like the battering ram, and then he slipped off the top rope, and then he pointed to his head and was like, no, I didn't make a mistake there. You didn't see that. I was like, yeah, we did, Sheamus.
Yeah,
it's okay. So did Matthew.
They won with the what's their finisher called again?
I don't know if it has a name or anything. It's basically white noise. It's like an assisted white noise, and it looks horrible because it just doesn't work. I mean, if anything, I wish you would have a way to do this would be hard to set up, but maybe Cesaro goes for the Alpamare water slide, and right before he's about to drop it, Sheamus locks in the white noise and drops the air raid crash. I think that would work. If the Bludgeon Brothers weren't using the T gimmick, that'd be a really good finish for them. But no, it's not going to be that. Or maybe I know I'm thinking too much on this. Maybe Sheamus sets up the Celtic Cross and he's got him crucified up and he's getting ready to drop him, and then Cesaro comes off with Swiss Death. Not Swiss Death, but the European off the middle rope. That would very European uppercut would make sense, honestly. Just something else. I don't like this combined finisher because it never looks good. Murphy Boy wants Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Yeah, it would be nice to have, but wouldn't mind Charlotte and Asuka. I think that's what we're getting. And because Uncle Dave said many moons ago that the plan looks like it's going to be Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania, and this is the way to get to it. You have Asuka leave go to SmackDown, show up, says she's going to face Charlotte. Now we need a number one contender. We do some sort of a number one contender match on Raw, and we officially announce we have Nia Jax go over, and we do Nia and Alexa at Mania. I don't necessarily want that, but that's what we're building towards.
Yeah. So then,
being that,
then we get to Asuka versus Nia Jax. I'm ready for Asuka. Are we supposed to forget that you lost to her like a month before?
Oh my god, it reminds me of what they were the build up watching the new Botchamania earlier today about it's like this has never happened before. You can't beat me, and of course it shows an NXT where Asuka just owned Nia Jax numerous times. We're supposed to forget that. Don't forget, Nia Jax is the one person that lost to a guillotine choke from Bayley in NXT before. We're supposed to forget that.
It's just like Jax just doing dominating, and then Asuka with the sneaky win. It's like, so you make Asuka look fucking terrible and get a fluke win, and then put her even more. I'm gonna.
I mean, this happened. This match, it was okay.
The one thing I will give credit to out of all this would be what happened afterwards with the interview backstage. When our girl goes, nobody is ready for Alexa. Like, yes! Jax looks dominant, but she isn't in a title match. Brilliant.
Yet.
Great booking, guys.
Yeah, Smurfy Boy said Nia's like Strowman. They make them look dominant. They never pull the trigger. It's happening.
Yeah, but Asuka looked dominant in a shit... Sorry. Nia looked dominant in a shit way.
Right. I agree.
Braun looked dominant tonight in a holy fucking shit way.
It makes sense.
So then we get to, well, there was a Roman Reigns interview thing where it's just like, whatever. Broken Matt versus Bray Wyatt.
They gave this match 10 minutes. They did a squash on the Manhattan Center Raw that lasted like, you blink and it's over. And they gave this match 10 minutes.
And the crowd was more interested in a beach ball.
Did we get a Rusev Day chant?
And that as well, yeah.
God bless. I'm telling you, they really need to, like, if you're going to go all in on Broken Matt, we need everything. We need everything. We need all the Impact footage, which I know they have now. We need Vanguard 1. We need Senor Benjamin. We need Brother Nero. I really think this is leading to the Broken Hardys and Bray Wyatt becoming the new Brood. That's the end game here. It has to be, because there is nothing else I can think of. They go through the Great War, and then the next thing you know, Bray needs to get some sort of an ally. And I know what I would do, and I know who I would use, but the problem is I don't know if they'd bring him up this early. You know, Bray Wyatt's ally needs to be against the Broken Hardys until they all form together.
Who gives a fuck? Bray Wyatt is. You might as well fire Bray Wyatt now.
He's not doing. They're not doing anything.
Fire him.
No, don't fire him.
Wish him the best in his future endeavors. Bray's done fuck all in 12 months. Apart from JoJo. He's fucked her.
It's not Bray's fault though. He's just doing with what he's dealing with what he's getting. Which doesn't really seem to be much.
Clearly, if he was considered more high, he'd have been over. I mean, look at fucking Jinder.
God.
Jinder's been more over in the past 12 months than Bray.
Bray could have been the Undertaker of this generation, absolutely, if they did it properly. I think they just realized they didn't care, and they're not going to invest any time or money in Bray anymore.
So then the Ronda stuff happened.
But more importantly, something else was going on during the same time.
Yeah, this was clearly not coincidental.
Not even close.
They clearly got wind that Ronda was going to be headlining the final hour.
Yep.
And 20-something minutes. So New Japan decided to go, oh, by the way, we're putting out the bracket for the New Japan Cup. And we're going to have it's supposed to be like a press interview, but I'm guessing it was just one person with the questions because all you saw was the table and the man. Despite the fact he's fucking injured, Tanahashi's in the tournament. And so for the whole duration of this Ronda Rousey segment, up until they're starting the chamber match, they're just having all the shit that's going on in Japan. Because, to quote Raul Julia, of course!
It's a very unique tournament this year.
Yeah. So, yeah, so, well, that's interesting. So, I mean, I'll go through the bracket in a minute, but from the translations that I've got off the Lion Marks on Twitter, the New Japan site is saying Kenny's missing the cup due to a neck issue. Partially, I'm thinking they're resting him because of what also got announced in that Los Angeles is getting the Young Bucks versus the Golden Lovers.
It makes sense.
Which leaves it open for the tag titles possibly to be won at Dominion, and then the tag team colliding at G1. That'd be this interesting story. The final. You know, the final being Ibushi on one side of the bracket versus Omega on the other side of the bracket.
And then Kenny finally wins. Finally goes on, faces Okada, and finally wins the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Possibly. So the bracket as it stands is Elgin versus Ishii.
That can go either way.
Juice Robinson versus Yujiro. Tanahashi versus Taichi. And Fale versus Lance Hoyt. And then on the other side of the bracket, I tell you, everybody pay attention March the 11th, because holy fuck. The two matches on the right side of the bracket and the top half of it are Ibushi versus Yoshihashi and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Naito. That's a ridiculous bracket just to get to the semis. And then, because then it goes a bit weird again, the final two on that side of the bracket are Toru Yano versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Sanada versus Chuck Taylor.
I find it.
Reasons.
Is Trent Brett out right now? He's has injuries, doesn't he?
Well, he absolutely got fucked the shit out of at PWG.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to, because I think that's funny and very ironic, given the fact that Trent wanted to go out on his own, and he would have probably been in Chuck Taylor's spot.
Chuck's now getting to go out on his own.
Yeah,
because he fucks up Trent at PWG.
I wonder if there was anything in that.
I love it, Mago. I love it.
I've been saying for a while, I said that Juice Robinson was going to make a splash. Definitely. I mean, let's look at the brackets real quick before we go back into this. Elgin and Ishii could go either way. It just depends, really, what direction they want to go. I think we could see maybe Elgin winning potentially, because Juice Robinson would be his next round opponent. I say Tana over Taichi, and I say Fale over Archer. I would love to. I think Juice upsets Ishii, and I would put. I mean, it could go either way with Tana and Fale to put Fale over, so at least you have a member of the Bullet Club getting into the finals. Didn't Fale win the cup before, the G1 at one point? He's won something prestigious.
So yeah, that got announced and everything.
But
the Ronda stuff was the Ronda stuff is very interesting to me.
It's intriguing because they've set up something that has been rumored for a while and also left it open.
No. Aside from that, we need to break it down right from the very start. Kurt comes out, which you expected because they showed Kurt going into Ronda's locker room or whatever. Then I saw 4 microphones on the stage and I'm going, oh no. We know what's happening. Triple H's music hits, so it's like, okay. And of course, Triple H has to come out with Stephanie because she can't come out to her own music.
Maybe they don't own the rights to the music anymore.
No, they do. It's just they want to have Stephanie be cheered because they think that will solve it. They didn't have to for Vegas because the mainstream people that went to this show because Ronda was there are smart MMA people. So what did they do? They booed her, chanted Holly Holm. Possibly chanted knock them out. It's hard to tell. Because, of course, the last time... I mean, okay, she lost to... I can't even remember. The woman that she was supposed to be up against. I can't remember. Ronda. I need to bloody Wikipedia her. Ronda Rousey. She lost to Holly Holm and then she lost to... It's not Andrade. I'm trying to remember. Let me have a quick look. MMA. Where's her MMA record? Yeah. Oh no, it was Amanda Nunes when she lost at UFC 207 14 months ago. Other than that, she did nothing. I'm pretty sure it was 207. No, 207 was Vegas. So the last time she was in that building, she got easily beaten the shit out of. In about, let's have a look at the time, 48 seconds. And the thing is, whether the crowd were cheering her or going Ronda Rousey or booing her or trying to get jabs at her, every time she was reacting to it. And she was losing her place in whatever word she was supposed to be saying.
She needs a mouthpiece. Bad.
Yes. Badly.
Bad.
I know you, our boy, Heyman, has offered his services.
Yes.
Which, considering, fucking Lesnar might be not long of this parish. Going back to the Ufka. So, of course, they do all this shit. She doesn't, the sentimental stuff about Ronda and everything. And then Triple H sort of makes out, there's no special qualms in your contract. You want to be just like the rest of the roster. Work just like a normal worker. And they wanted to sign. And Kurt sort of looking concerned. And it's full play to Stephanie, Triple H, and Kurt for actually somehow turning this segment into something that people were going to be really into. Because he just goes, wow, no, I'm just excited for you to be here. Because, Triple H and Stephanie will want to undermine you. Make you sort of insignificant. And then I'm trying to think what the line was. See if I can bring it up. If somebody's got some notes about it. Because I can't remember it off the top of my head. Because, it's too fucking long a show. Yeah, they were basically talking about, they wanted to undermine her because ever since WrestleMania 31, for flipping Triple H and nearly breaking Stephanie's arm, and then actually brings up saying, oh, we'll own the bitch. It's like,
yeah,
well, that isn't going up. That isn't going on the YouTube channel. Nope. And Triple H is just like, look, this isn't about us. It's about Mania. Angles, clearly isn't well. He's had a relapse of the flu. He was out with the flu this week. Just like really sold well, brilliantly. It's just like, I'm gonna put old Yeller out back and fucking shoot his dick for saying that shit. But go ahead. I think no problem. And Triple H takes Kurt out the ring, and Stephanie goes, look. Angle's right about one thing. We've been talking about you ever since that time at Mania 31. Sure, you embarrassed us, but you impressed us. You're one of the greatest fighters in the world, and I want you part of the WWE. And then Angle goes, one more thing, Stephanie. You said that you think that Ronda's a has-been, and that, you could take her on. McMahon's looks like, oh, and then, because Ronda is prepared for this, Ronda turns Terminator. And the look that she's got, it's like, this is what you should have done rather than what the fuck you did at the Rumble. She backs her up to the ropes. Stephanie's like, and Triple H comes in, splits them apart. And then Ronda just slaps Triple H's arms down and like, okay, intergender wrestling here, everybody. And Triple H just laughing and tries to stop it, and Triple H, and Stephanie walk away and sort of deliberate, I guess, what they're going to do. Triple H turns back in. Ronda picks him up and sort of side slams him through the table that's there.
It was like a modified judo throw.
Yeah.
I like the word modified because it basically covers up for the fact that it's not exactly what it's supposed to be.
So Stephanie's like, oh, what the shit have you done? Slaps her. And for a minute, I thought Ronda should have done it like Awesome Kong style from the infamous Jenna Maraska versus Sharmell match. She should have just turned her head back, moving her hair, and just sort of have like a smirk on her face, as if to go, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And of course, the crowd are going, you fucked up. Stephanie gets out the ring because she's, scared shitless. Ronda just picks up the contract, signs it in the most ineffectual contract signing ever because it's sort of like sideways, so it isn't even level with a dotted line. Throws it on Triple H, who sells the clipboard, of course. And then Ronda leaves. They did the right thing by actually getting her over in the way that they did. Because otherwise, she would have fucking drowned in a sea full of sharks. I mean, I don't want to say Rousey needs Paige, but there needs to be somebody, at least that's a woman, that can be her mouthpiece.
Sarah Amato would work.
She's going to be busy, isn't she?
Well, I mean, she would work if they wanted to.
But of course, because of the way they've done it with Kurt and everything, they've left it open for it to be the one match we wanted in Triple H versus Kurt, except now Ronda Rousey and Stephanie are involved. The reason why I think they're actually more like, well, one, let's be honest, it's probably because they couldn't get your boy Dwayne.
Or have they? See, that's the swerve.
Yeah, well, yes, but I honestly think the angle they're going to go along with is the Olympic gold medalist and the Olympic bronze medalist judo person.
I think that's the go-to. I really think if something could happen and Dwayne could show up, then they're going to go with the original match.
The sensible move is that it's Dwayne.
Yeah, totally.
But it just depends on what happens with his schedule.
Right, of course.
Because the problem is, I think they want Kurt wrestling at WrestleMania.
They do. I'm positive they do.
The problem is, how do they do it unless somebody joins the ranks of Triple H and Stephanie? And it becomes an intergender... Sorry. A man and woman, not intergender, but sort of 6-person tag. The question is, who would be in Triple H and Stephanie's pocket? I mean, Elias?
It's possible.
I can't think of anything else for him. So then it's time for Elimination Chamber itself. So Elias got to perform, then sort of shooed back into his pod as soon as Strowman showed up. Then came Cena, and then came Burner. So we're starting off with Miz, Rollins, and Balor. It was solid. This was a good match. Just took a bloody while to build up.
Yeah.
Cena was in first at number 4, followed by Roman, followed by Braun. So Braun basically destroys all of them and starts going with individual spots on them as he's waiting for the time to go down for Elias. I thought the time was going to run out and then Elias was going to be the first to be eliminated. They totally didn't do that because Miz got running power slammed and Miz was eliminated first. And then Elias's door opens and then he just shuts it. And then the other 4 tried to take out Strowman, but failed to. The really nice bit was when they were all doing their finishes, and it was a 4-person power bomb, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then he kicks out at 1. Cena hits the AA. Kicks out at 1.
He dropped him on his head, too.
Roman hits his spear. By law, he has to kick out at 2. Because, big dog.
God. Rhett Titus?
Curb stomp. Strowman rolls out the ring. Coup de grace. Obviously, it's outside the ring, so it doesn't matter. Goes back and forth. Elias now suddenly sees all the bodies on the floor and goes, I'm going to pin all of them. Of course, all fail. And eventually, and then the weird bit, Elias's elimination comes from Elias manages to dodge a drive from Strowman and he goes into the ring post.
Mm.
Elias tries to give him an electric chair, but collapses under the weight. In all honesty, this looked like he put his head up Braun Strowman's fucking ass.
Oh, no.
It looked like a colonoscopy.
Oh, God.
Of the head variety. The cranium variety. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Technical knowledge. Of course, running power slam. Elias is gone. Again, they try and work on Strowman, but Strowman's too good. Cena goes for the top rope crossbody. Strowman catches him. Running power slam. Cena's gone. Cena is not going to WrestleMania. So I honestly think the storyline now is Cena's going to keep calling out Undertaker until he gets a yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they set up tonight on Raw.
They're doing this. They're doing the fucking storyline exactly the same as they did with Shawn Michaels.
Yep, that's exactly what they're doing.
Just with a variant. So then Balor gets eliminated by the running power slam. Although he didn't do we actually saw the 1916 for a change as well.
And of course, it's not a show with me unless I don't mention the fact that before Rollins was eliminated, he did end up doing the deal.
And then Seth gets eliminated by Braun. After going for a curb stomp, but, Strowman gets out the way and gives it. So keep in mind, every elimination has been via running power slam by Braun. As soon as you see that, you're immediately going,
uh-oh.
Well, we know what's fucking happening here, don't we? Nobody ever goes all the way with LIJ. And so the best bit comes. Actually, no, the best bit came before that. When Seth was still in the match, he gave Reigns a buckle bomb into the corner, which Reigns immediately followed up with a Superman punch because the Roman Reigns school of no sell.
Yep.
And then it happens again. Just loads of Reigns no-selling. Reigns sidesteps a charge. Strowman goes through the plexiglass of the cell. They saved it until right at the end when it isn't like an interesting spot. Because there's nobody in the match left. Strowman gets to his feet. Superman punch. The crowd immediately knows what the fuck is happening. Strowman gets in the ring. Superman punch. Reigns goes for the spear. Strowman tries to counter it into a running power slam. Reigns escapes. Third Superman punch. Running spear a la bloody Undertaker style. Or partially anyway. And then a second spear. And apparently that's enough. And apparently the majority of the fans want Roman versus Lesnar. So all of a sudden, the face Brock Lesnar is heel again. By default.
I don't.
And then, in a weird manner, Strowman beats the shit out of Reigns, gives him a running power slam, does the whole thumb up, thumb down, gives him another one, and then throws him through one of the other pods. So, let's be honest.
I'm just
as that looked, that to me, with what Braun did, is the equivalent of Daniel Bryan's yes movement. That performance alone proves, even if it has to be a triple threat, it has to be a triple threat.
100%. That's what they're doing with Braun. They're putting him in with Brock and Roman.
Or are they actually putting him in a US title picture with Miz?
Well, that was the original idea.
That's the problem.
The original idea was Braun and Miz. But the only problem is they've already given away the finish of Braun and Miz twice.
Yeah.
Makes no sense now. It's just, you blink. I mean, there's a few things, like if you really were invested in the show, more power to you. I'm not done, but it's like I don't have much faith, because it's like at this point they really have to deliver on the undercard, because as okay of a match as Roman and Brock's going to be, I don't care. I just do not care.
The women's division seems boring.
Yeah, it really does.
The men's division seems boring, apart from AJ and Nakamura. But then, will it be anything of the quality that we would have got at New Japan?
What bothers me is going to be the fact that Sheamus and Cesaro are they're going to win some sort of a multi-match at Mania. That's not going to matter whatsoever.
Randy Orton may or may not be United States champion.
Yeah, I could see Orton
going into Mania.
Orton is going to answer the challenge of Rude at Fastlane and win the title. I could see that happening.
No, it isn't a challenge, isn't it? It's a match.
Well, he could show up on SmackDown and say he wants to accept the challenge, but he wants to do it at Fastlane.
No, the match is already confirmed.
Oh, don't forget, I don't watch SmackDown, so I would not know
that. Daniel was like Rude versus Jinder.
Right.
And Shane went, no, the match is going to be Rude versus Randy Orton. Because, opportunities are given to people who've had too many fucking opportunities.
Makes sense.
Logic, motherfuckers. Miz versus Braun. Braun shouldn't be at that level. He's already beyond that.
Right.
He's already established that he's over. Tag divisions are all but fucking dead. I mean, if we're doing fucking Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers, I don't give a shit about the Bludgeon Brothers. Let's see how fucking terrible it's going to be. My hopes are distinctly average.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to skip Mania or anything like that, but I mean, I don't want to sit through another 5-hour pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're getting to the point now with like the run schedule and everything that I'm like canceling pay-per-views because it's like I don't have time. We're doing the shows like after the fact. We're not going live after they're over anymore. I mean, we should go live after Fastlane, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, Mania Takeover. I mean, there's a lot of there's so many things I hate about WrestleMania week because there's so much to cover. We don't have time to properly cover it. At this point, I'd much rather cover Supercard of Honor than Takeover.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I think I've rambled enough. It's time to go to bed.
Probably.
I gotta be up in 4 hours, so yay. Well, 5 hours. I think we set the alarm for 5:15, so yeah. I gotta be up in 5 hours. That's your show.
I really hope we are doing a show tomorrow.
Unless something changes, and I don't know if it will or not. I guess we'll see. If it's, I mean,
I'm having fillings, so I could be slurring my words.
Oh no.
Yeah, this could be fun.
And if that ends up happening and we don't do a show, then Ashley's going to be doing a video that he has promised to do the last 2 weeks that he still hasn't done yet.
Yeah, well, it's mainly just going to be catching up with whatever it is, going into may or may not with Wednesday. But the aim will be to sort of recap all the. I mean, I'll catch up on the television in one video, the indie results at least for the past couple of weeks, and then the usual results from the last week and the next weekend stuff.
Right.
As long as I get enough time in my schedule, but it should be. Also, considering how we probably, if we don't do a show on Wednesday, can we acknowledge the cunts in St. Petersburg?
Okay.
So, Oh, you don't even know this, Owen?
I've been running and working. No, I don't know what's going on in St. Petersburg.
So they were doing house shows.
Okay.
Featuring the top tier talent. And Kairi Sane was in one of the matches. And a section of the fans, probably only a few guys, were chanting at her happy ending and remember Pearl Harbor.
God. Oh, man. Someone needs to be shot out of a cannon into a brick wall for that one. Apparently, somebody did that to Chelsea Green, too, over the weekend.
Yeah, well, somebody said, strip for me.
Yeah.
Because she was so scantily clad dressed, but just like, well, how else is she supposed to wrestle? With a fucking cardigan? Yeah, the men are topless in most cases, so, surely they're showing more skin anyway. God. Who knows? It's just getting to a situation where it's like, it's just, let's see how it goes. Because I'm not sort of getting hopeful. It's a show that it's just like, I don't even know.
I don't know.
Thank God NXT TakeOver is happening. I think that's what we've established.
Right.
Oh, the great thing is, apparently, I'm just looking at some of the tweets from people I'm following for Elimination Chamber.
Right.
Somebody just tweeted, I've legitimately just cancelled my network subscription because of this Roman Reigns stuff.
I like when people put out the the screenshots of their cable bill. It's like, I really did it. I prove you I did it. I mean, I canceled mine too, but it's not because of the way that it's going on. It's just like, I don't have the extra $10 right now.
Budgets, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I got races to pay for. That's a thing now. Monthly at least 5Ks with April has become a thing now. So needless to say, I need money for that.
Mm-hmm.
Disney races aren't cheap.
Never are.
And if anything ever happens to what I really truly want, then that's going to take money as well, obviously. So I kind of have to be ready.
Why else do you think we're doing 4-hour Oscar reactions?
That's a straight shoot, everyone. That's why we're doing a simulcast, is because running takes precedence over pretty much anything right now.
No, it's generally for budget reasons, because we want the YouTube ad revenue.
Yeah, that'd be used for it now. That $10 at the end of the month really helps sometimes.
I guess the question is, are we set on time yet? How early are we going to go before the actual ceremony?
We're just gonna start. We're literally gonna start with the pre-show. Like, for example, like whenever they're on the red carpet, we're just gonna talk about the Spirit Awards.
Yeah, but if the red carpet's 2 hours, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how far are we going? Are we going like I'm tempted to say hour.
We can go an hour in. We can wait for the first step. We can go 1 hour into the pre-show then.
Well, because I don't know how long the pre-show is. Quick, the TV guide.
An hour into the red carpet. We do not have time for this, sir. I have to go to bed.
I'm quickly doing it now. I'm trying to look ahead. It should only take a few minutes. It's tvguide.com. Just looking ahead.
One way to look at it. I'm just
trying to skip forward.
And by the way, thanks everyone for checking out our Oscar podcast we did earlier last night. That was really fun. Had a good time.
I don't care what I have to watch today, TV Guide. I'm not in your fucking country. Sorry, Owen.
It's okay. Like I said, I'm at the point now I just need sleep, so.
Come on.
And I hope everyone understands we're not going to be going super late on Oscar night anyway, because again, because of everything, we are running 9.5 miles the next morning, and by next morning I mean pretty much 2 hours after the Oscars. So yeah, I'm praying the show doesn't overrun this year.
Oh fuck! Why does it keep reverting?
So this day in history, a year ago today, was the day of the 89th Annual Academy Awards, which means tomorrow, the 27th, officially was the day I moved to Orlando.
The live red carpet
is
an hour and a half long, by the looks of it.
That's not terrible. We could technically still do that.
Even an hour and a half of Phil.
We have to talk about the Spirit Awards.
Because keep in mind that means that the show's going roughly. Yes, but will that take? Well, we could talk about the Razzies as well. Okay, that's the case. We might just be able to fit it in.
We've got filler. We're good. I'll go get. I mean, I get off at 3, which sucks, but it is what it is. And then I'll go and I'll get. I'll probably get some sleep, and then the red carpet starts at what time?
6:30.
Jesus. Okay.
Told you. If we went 7 and just covered all the rest of it in an hour,
we'll start at 7 then.
Yeah, that'd be the safest spot.
7, most likely midnight. I hope not, but that might
keep in mind. I'm pretty sure when I've done previous sort of like live things in the past, there's sort of like an unofficial 8-hour limit on hangout things.
I know there is, because we have done an 8-hour podcast before. There is podcasts that exist on this network that are Halloween Horror Nights podcast that went legit 8 hours.
Yeah. So, obviously we're sort of strung in anyway, because obviously the show should be finishing by in or around 11. So we should only go sort of, if we were just doing the show itself, would be 4 hours. But 5 would be better than 5.5. If we start a few minutes early as well before 7, so be it. But yeah, this is how a fucking interesting wrestling is right now. We're talking about next week's plans on air.
Yeah, speaking of next week's plans, 9.5. Let's do this. So once again,
as well, keep in mind as well, we're back.
Yeah,
doing Fast Lane stuff.
We're back for Fast
Lane. The infamous 5-way Rude, Orton, and Jinder in a triple threat, because that's probably happening. Usos versus New Day, which I wouldn't be surprised if the New Day win and then New Day bury Bludgeon Brothers. Or get buried by Bludgeon Brothers.
At least Harper and Rowan against the New Day is a fresh match.
To some extent, yeah. And Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott. Wow, actually, come to think of it, wouldn't that be
There's your cash in. There's your cash in right there.
And then the weird thing is, what if Carmella cashes in, wins, but then she somehow beats Asuka? And the streak is ended by Carmella. I have fears. I mean, I'm not saying I'm calling it. I have fears.
No.
I have retributions. Not retributions. I'm scared shitless. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But we'll see.
So that's your show. Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I am on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK.
And we have Snack Stash coming up later this week. Gaming with Ash returning soon. Raw Popcast should be coming up later tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Or today, since it's after midnight now. We should have wrestling content this weekend, regardless if it's a live show or not. I'll tell you that right now. Follow me on Twitter at Siro and Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. And that's going to be your show. So, as always, thank everyone for joining us in our live chat. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in live or in archive. And in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more this evening you have chosen a podcast. Well, thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Burner, 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 suck dick.